Hey guys, thanks for all coming today. I think we've all talked with Holden, and I think it's important now that we just compile our ideas and see if we can figure out what's wrong. Bridget, how about you start?
Okay, well, I had a discussion with Holden for a couple of hours, and I discovered a lot about him, of what I think is wrong with him. In my meeting, we were talking about his brother Ali, who passed on, and he said this: "My brother GB is a writer and all, and my brother Ali, the one that died that I told you about, was a wizard. I'm the only really dumb one." This kind of showed to me that he feels that he has to live up to the idealized image of his dead brother because his family just loved Ali, from what he told me, and his other brother is very successful, and he just feels like he has to live up to them, and this is very common when there's a death in the family.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now that Ali is dead, he's a middle child, and he's showing signs of sibling rivalry between them because DB is a very successful writer in Hollywood, and he's left home already, and Phoebe is a cute, charming little girl whose parents pay attention to, and he's kind of lost in the shuffle now, and he also has like a lack of motivation because he kind of has given up hope of meeting his parents' expectations about DB and his sister Phoebe.
Loss of interest is also associated with post-traumatic stress disorder, which is an anxiety disorder that is developed after exposure to a terrifying experience such as death. Holden spoke to me about how intelligent Ali was, and Holden himself is very smart, but has been kicked out of 3 schools because of his lack of interest. Another symptom that Holden spoke of is loss of sleep.
Yeah, Holden also talked to me about loss of sleep when he visited New York City, and he said that like his mind was racing and like he wasn't tired or anything, and that falls into the category of like depression because your sleeping habits get all messed up because you're not like tired at all.
Depression also falls into the 5 stages of grief, which is what I specialize in, and it's the 3rd stage after denial and anger, and it kind of it comes along with suicidal thoughts and like loss of interest and other things related to that.
Suicidal thoughts is also another symptom of post-traumatic stress disorder. Holden drew this picture during our session together.
Oh, wow.
Not so
Not good.
This picture illustrates himself jumping off a building and committing suicide. This concerns me. Suicidal thoughts can be derived from loneliness, which Holden has brought up on many occasions.
Before we get too deep into the idea of depression, I feel like it's possible that all he's going through is just a normal adolescent development and teenage development. He's searching for independence, an independence that he thinks he deserves. However, once he goes into the city and does what he thinks it is to be an adult, it becomes clear that this only leads to increased loneliness and alienation, and which ultimately in our session it just became obvious that he just wants human contact and compassion, and he realizes that this independence wasn't all that it was cracked up to be in his eyes.
Yeah, now that he's a middle child, he's definitely ignored. I think he's fighting for his parents' attention by flunking out of all those schools. He might not be doing it like on purpose, but either subconsciously or on purpose it is happening. And so I think he really wants his parents' attention that way.
Another big impact of the death shows when his sharp drop in his school performance and his refusal to attend school at all, which he isn't directly doing, but he is when he is just failing out of school. He's failing all of his classes, and this is the 3rd school he's gone to in 3 years.
Yeah, also what I've been researching is just teenage rebellion and the psychological changes that occur in a teenager. And this rebellion, for him, I feel like it's gotten a little extreme. I was going to ask you guys, I researched a disease known as oppositional defiant disorder. I'm sure you guys are familiar with it. And it's just patterns of like hostile and defiant behavior, and a common symptom is passive aggression, and also just going stupid in the classroom. Like the kid is smart, but he feels like he has power over the authorities by not expressing all that he knows and his intelligence. So that's why I was thinking possibly that could be part of the problem here.
Yeah, but then like what also explains how he's like always short-tempered all the time with like all of his friends or like his family. Like he told me about how he had a date with Sally, who was like his like girlfriend kind of.
Yeah.
And how he like was really annoyed with her, but then when he saw her and like how pretty she looked, he like automatically like loved her, and he like couldn't explain those feelings to me.
Also going around with anger, although it's kind of different, right after a loss of a loved one, the second stage of grief coming after denial is being angry or enraged. And Holden describes a very serious instance when he found out about Allie's death. He went into his garage and punched all the windows out in the garage doors, which left him with serious injuries in his hands.
I bust the windows out.
Definitely after Allie died, he lost a best friend, a companion, and a brother. And so we also see how lonely he is when he asked those two cab drivers. Did he tell you the stories about?
Yeah.
He asked those two cab drivers to go get a drink with him, and they refused. But he obviously was looking for a companion and just like someone to talk to.
Central Park, please.
All right.
Oh, I was wondering, do you know where the ducks and the fish go in the winter when the water freezes in the pond?
I don't know. Why do you care?
Oh. Oh, do you want to get a drink with me tonight?